You are listening to Grammy's Rocket Chair on RLM Radio.
The girl of your dreams has got to be in some bar.
Sorry, boys and girls, but this is X-rated. So if you're under 18...
Get out, goddammit!
Get the point? Good.
And now?
Shindu.
Y'all ready for this?
We do it all night long.
And now, your host, Grammy.
Okay, I don't really do it all night long, but there's stuff going on here on the RLM almost all night long, because, yeah, you got your Grammy here in my rocket chair, and man, oh man, I have got fuel for my rocket chair today because I wore some jeans that, well, you know, have you ever worn jeans to work that they fit just fine when you left the house, and actually, you know, tootling around and getting stuff ready and opened up and woke up and all that fun stuff at work, you know, you're doing really good till about 45 minutes to an hour into work, and then you realize these jeans are just a little bit on the snug side. Yeah, that's kind of the way I am today. I wore entirely too tight of jeans, and man, I am tough enough to make it all the way through the day. Excuse me, because I'm just too damn cheap and lazy to drive back home over lunch and change. Needless to say, it cut off the air supply to my brain. So y'all got to deal with me tonight, because I'm frumpy. I'm frumpy now. I put jammy pants on. I'll bet y'all really wanted to know that. Oh, well. Y'all are listening to Grammy's Rocket Chair, and yeah, now that I have airflow going again, I got fuel for my rocket chair. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, over here on Twitter, thank you ever so much, Barman, for tweeting me out. I truly do appreciate it. Holy crap, and only in the WTF facts, a Dracovolans is a flying lizard that looks like a real live dragon. Sweet! And it can swoop in for a perfect landing. How awesome is that? It's kind of like the little dragons of Pern, the little bitty baby dragons on Pern. If y'all haven't read any of the Pern books, I think Piers Anthony is the one that... No. Anne McCaffrey wrote The Dragon Riders of Pern. That's right. Anne McCaffrey, yeah. Lots and lots of Pern books. By the way, thank you, Barman, for tweeting me out. Truly do appreciate it. And hey there, Blackbird. How are you doing, sweetie? Long time no chitty chat. You and I really do need to chitty chat, although I think you need to lower your IQ level just a skosh. Just a skosh. Because I do have a tendency to... Okay, I up the goofy level when I walk into a room. We'll put it like that. How's that sound? Okay, over here on the corner pocket, I really don't see anybody but Fleet. Hey, Fleet. How you doing, hon? I see the... Oh, shit. See... Oh, sorry. One of the few times that I don't go at BEF over here in the corner pocket... Fleet did it when Fleet logged in, and yeah, Fleet got the duck. The one time I don't check to get the duck, I could have got the duck instead of getting the sorry grams. That duck's already been nabbed. Hi, Fleet. Good job. Yeah, you're going to have duck dinner. I can see that. Yeah, it's on Spreaker. Oh, my God, that's scary as hell. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm on Spreaker, and I'm on... rlmradio.xyz, and I'm also on the reallibertymedia.com channel 3, and God knows where else I'm at, because that's why I'm just not all together tonight, because I'm everywhere. And be afraid. Be very afraid. Let's see. Sexual predator surrounded by two women who supposedly fight for women's rights. Yeah. Hey, Harvey. Hey, Shitlery. Hey, what's your face? Shitlery's girlfriend. Okay. Over here on the Freedoms Network. Hey, Grimmy, thank you for sharing me over here as well. I also see Katie Troxel is here, as well as Cantrell. My condolences, Cantrell, on the cranes. That sucks. I also see the lovely Mary B is over here as well. Hey there, hi there, ho there. And looks like Java Doctor too, or Java Doctor at least, was over here on Facebook. I see Pete is sharing things. Pete must have gotten his hemp harvesting done because he's been a busy boy the last few days. So, yeah. Now he's playing on Facebook for a little bit. And he just shared a little Lucky Charms thing that says the Irish protest for the removal of the Lucky Charms leprechaun image because it's offensive. Nah, just kidding. Because the Irish aren't offended by jack shit, because they're not pussies. So, there you go. I also see the lovely Mary B is over here, as well as Gary Long. Hi, Gary. How you doing? Hope you're having an absolutely awesome Friday. I also see Porcus has been active over here on Facebook. Hey, Porcus from piggazette.com. Porcus and Hambo. I haven't seen Hambo on there for a while, but I've seen Porcus a time or two. So, hey, guys. Excellent job. Don't always agree with you, but hey. I do enjoy the pig. We'll just put it at that. Let's see. Check my Twitter one more time. I really haven't found anything on Twitter that I just wanted to pull up and read because it's like, really, I don't give a shit. I really don't. Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do. Oh, what? What? This is from Miosso. Oh, shush. I don't care, said Pierre. So never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. That was General George Patton. Hey, George. Georgie Porgy. Okay. Over here in the RLM, which is where you need to be if you want to give me static tonight. I see Rob Works has fired up the bubbler. Thank you ever so much, Rob Works. And thank you, Gooberzilla, for that link about the judge ordering Mandalay Bay to stop destroying evidence. I wasn't able to pull it up. I don't know why. It was giving me hissy fits. So I don't know if it's an opera thing or what. But I will try and check it out later. Excuse me. They've been playing tic-tac-toe in the sky lately, and today the wind has been blowing like 90 to nothing because Nebraska really sucks. So, yes, I've been breathing dirt and crud. So if I get a little bit hacky, it's just me. No big deal. Wars for Terror Against the World coming to America. Coming to America. Isn't that an Eddie Murphy movie? Yeah. You guys are silly. Okay, over here in the RLM. Hey there, barman. How you doing? Thank you, sweetheart. You have been on the ball and busy, busy, busy. Thank you for sharing me all over the place. You know, you're just scaring people when you do that, but that's okay. Because, you know, at least it's not fear porn. It's just kind of goofiness. I do get a little bit cantankerous from time to time, but for the most part, it's just giggles. I also see Grimner is over here, who is the RLM god, don't you know? And Grimner and the lady right behind him, the lovely Moose Girl, which did you know, behind every great man is an absolutely amazing woman, and that's where Moosey steps in. They're going to be on later on tonight with the Freakers Ball. So yeah, I may not be on all night long, but they're going to keep you entertained into the wee hours of the morning. Unfortunately, I will be sleeping by then because I've turned into a wussy woo. Hey, Moose. How you doing, girlfriend? I also see the lovely Kate is here. Hey, Kate. How's things in the new abode? I hope you're enjoying yourself. Moving totally sucks. I don't think anybody threatened the Grimner. If somebody threatened the Grimner, I would have to drop kick them through the goalposts of life. That's just all there is to it. Because Grimmy is just way cool. Oh, Hansel said he'd be back. I'll be back. Ooh. Hi, Hansel. Okay, I also see Asmodeus Asmo is over here in the RLM chat. Hey, Asmo, I know you're not really here, but you're logged in, so I'm going to say hey anyway. BTC Bob is also here, as well as Chelsea Denis. Got that O out of here because, well, I have entirely too much fun without the O going on. But I do have a double dip and a Chloe, and I just got to say, to all y'all listening, however many there are out there, bless your hearts, I love you. You're demented, which is part of the reason why I love you, because I love all the shades of crazy. But thank you ever so much, Chloe. I think because I'm running short on time on making stuff for Christmas this year, but I think I can make that pattern that you shared to me. Thank you ever so much. Those are really cute. And I think I might actually even be able to make a few modifications to it. So, hey, wouldn't that be cool if you could make them into a cell phone holder? Hey, oh, good thing I got headphones on so all that smoke don't leak out because my brains are starting to work. I also see I'm here. Holy crap, I am here. IB Don C is here as well. Hey, Don, how's things now that you're puppyless? I also see Java Doctor 2 is in the house, as well as JJ's. Hi, JJ's. How's things in Scotland? Bonnie old Scotland. And looky there, Juana Taco. You know, we had taco pizza the other night. It was very scrumdiddlyumptious, I have to say. I don't know that I'm going to go there again for a while because, yes, it has refried beans and, well, rocket fuel, and I wore tight jeans today. Okay. Hi, Meisterbrow. How you doing, hon? It's Woody. I also see the lovely Rain is here. And you know what, Rain? We finally no longer have mud puddles out here. Isn't that just scary? I mean, we're like 13 inches over normal for the rainfall total for the year. And the year ain't over yet. We haven't even started getting the lovely little snow that they're projecting here in a couple of weeks. And I really don't want it to happen in a couple of weeks because I really want to go see my grandkids. What is that, Rob Works? Should chemotherapy drugs, SSRIs, and opiate-based painkillers be classified as weapons of mass destruction or biological warfare on Americans? Yeah. I'll say yeah. Yes, they should. And I think everyone that pushes that crap needs to go through a whole round of that crap just so they can see what they're putting other people through. There. You know, they say that cops are supposed to tase each other so they know what it feels like to be tased. Okay. You want to be pumping people full of chemotherapy drugs and all that other fun shit? How about you go through a full course of that shit and then tell me that you want to inflict that upon others? Then I might actually sit down at the table and talk to you. I ain't going to do it, but I'll talk to you about it. I also see RLM Fluky, the Vanna White of the RLM chat room, is here. Thank you ever so much, RLM Flute Vanna. Vanna RLM, however you want to put that. Rob Works is here, the bubbler man who has shared bubblers, and I'm feeling bubbly, but that's nothing to do with my personality. I probably ought to see if my batteries are still good in my little, what's that, Grim? Oh, Cool Beans. Hey, he's telling everybody they're number one. That's a go one, Grammy. Trust no one is here. Yeah, the Bitcoin bazillionaire. What? Oh, someone might accuse the Gooberman of actually doing something for the citizens instead of the banksters. Oh, well, we can't do that, can we? Do you know I listened to an... Okay, I'll get to that later. I got to finish saying hey to everybody. I've listened to lots of things today while I was doing paperwork. Some of it was quite interesting. Some of it was all training. It's just some of it was actually corporate training, which put me to sleep, and some of it was actually interesting. So, Oh, well. Phantom. Hi, Phantom. Thank you once again for the wonderful intro. I truly do appreciate that. You are the bomb, dude. I also see Beetle. Hey, Beetle. How you doing, hon? How's Tippy? Is Tippy in your lap? Bubble butt. That's a nice way of saying it, Rob Works. I'm feeling rather effervescent. Let's just leave it at that. Just Jack. I know that's just Jack. Circles is logged in. Hi, Circles. How are you, sweet lady? Lady. Hi, lady. She's so awesome. I love Circles. And she was on the radio with Grimmy the other day. That's so cool. Y'all got to hear Circles and her wonderful jokes that make you really, really think. And then most of the time you go, it must be I missed it. But I love her to pieces. And she really is good at telling bad jokes. I love it, Circles. Because, there's got to be someone else in the room that tells bad jokes as bad as I do. Thank you, dear. I also see Colfax 101 is logged in, as well as Dimma. Hi, Dimma, the other friender of Ducks from the corner pocket. Frumpy is here. Hey, Frumpy. I'm feeling frumpy. Okay, I'm partially frumpy. The tight jeans, I'm wearing jammer pants. But the rest of it is still wearing so I'm half frumpy. I also see Gooberzilla is here. Hey, Goob. How you doing, hon? Jehovah One is here. Please don't be smiting or smoting anybody. Unless you want to do the whole Etch-a-Sketch thing, give everything a quick shake and start from scratch. That could be rather interesting. I got dibs on the left knob because I'm a lefty. Kozu is in the house. Hey, Kozu, how you doing, sweetheart? Oh, Grimmy, I'm sure her jokes are regionally funny as well. But, at least she can tell bad jokes very well. And I'm just impressed with that because, it takes a real talent to do that. I have trouble accomplishing that, but I do have a pretty good joke book in front of me right now, and I might have to break into that after I find my cheaters because the printing is really, really small. Oh, well. Mary B. Hi, Mary B. How you doing, girlfriend? How's things down under? Hope the weather is absolutely glorious for you. I also see Moy. Oh, see, Rob, usually when someone does that and they say this, instead of smite this, it's like sit on this and spin. That could be interesting. Hi, Poxified. I don't know if you're here, but you're logged in. You look like you're marked away. Looks like Pon Sauce is also marked away. Where you is? Where is Sock? By the way, I don't have a sock puppet to make sock puppet faces at. Slim Jim Flim is here. Hi, Slim Jim. I still keep thinking of jerky every time I see Slim Jim. It's that jerky stuff that you bite into it and it's like grease. Fake meat. Grease. And to round out the crew, Teddy. Hi, Teddy. I saw you over on the that too, over in the Red Pill earlier today. I actually clicked on that and went over there and played for a little bit, and everybody was talking about this whole Playboy thing that's going on with the transgender or whatever the hell it is. And how Hugh Hefner is rolling over in his grave. Sweetie, the only reason he's rolling over in his grave is because his Viagra kickstand has finally gone down. Oh, 'tis raining again. Too bad. Oh, well. Rain is not necessarily a bad thing. Lovely Miss B. I mean, there are times when you can go, okay, I'm feeling rather soggy and my hair is really frizzy. Stop it. But, oh well, I digress. I need to move along. What's going on over here? Hi, Anil. I see you, sweetheart. Holy smokes, Batman. I've been poked. I've been poked over on Fakey Book. And Fakey Book doesn't tell me when I'm getting poked until Anil poked me, and then it's like, holy crap, Anil. It's no wonder I have bruises. I got poked so many times. That sounds almost kinky. Almost. Okay. Now that I poked everybody back, come on. I did click it. Poke back. There you go. I'm going to go and check out Twitter because it shows I have lots and lots of... I saw you yawning, the Donald. Women who helped defeat ISIS. You know, from what I understand, they really, really, really do not like being done away with by those feminines of the species, because then they don't get to go to heaven and they don't get to have all their virgins, and it's like, whatever. You know, all this religious nonsense is, to me, a bunch of nonsense. But that's my personal opinion. Not necessarily something that everybody else wishes to go along with. So, let's go, you know, and seeing as how I'm talking about religious stuff, let's go play with a little bit of religious stuff here real quick. Because I touched on this Wednesday, just a little bit, with the whole Lilith thing. You know, and it got me really curious about some of this. Because, you know, and I saved a couple of links, like where the legend of Lilith comes from, and Lilith in the Bible and the mythology of it, which Lilith apparently was quite evil, at least from the menfolk perspective. And why is that? Well, Adam didn't like her because sometimes she was smarter than him and more bullheaded than him. Apparently also the White Witch of Narnia was a descendant of Lilith, you know, which is why she was so evil. But according to thoughtco.com, Ariel Pelaya, however you say it, hi Ariella. In any case, according to Jewish folklore, Lilith was Adam's first wife. So, see, even Adam got married a couple of times. You know, if at first you don't succeed. And she's not mentioned in the Torah, but over the centuries, she's become associated with Adam in order to reconcile contradictory versions of creation in the book of Genesis. Oh, my goodness, there are contradictions in the Bible. Go figure. The biblical book of Genesis contains two contradictory accounts of humanity's creation. The first account is known as the priestly version and appears in Genesis 1:26 through 27, which here God fashions man and woman simultaneously when the text reads, "So God created mankind in the divine image. Male and female God created them." La, la, la. And the second account of creation is known as the Yahwistic version and is found in Genesis 2. Genesis 2, not to be confused with any of those Star Trek movies. This is the version of creation that most people are familiar with. You know, God creates Adam, then places him in the Garden of Eden, and not long afterward, God decides to make a companion for Adam because, well, you know, Adam is bored, and he's looking for some place to stick his dangly bits because he's realized, hey, these dangly bits are kind of fun to play with. So God gives him something to play with. Yeah, and he created animals of the land and the sky to see if any of them are suitable partners for the man, which explains a lot after some of the things I've read lately. God also brings each animal to Adam, who names it before ultimately deciding that it is not a suitable helper. Because Adam, yes, he is so wonderful. God then causes a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, which probably was he showed him like a Playboy centerfold or something, and Adam had fun with his dangly bits and fell asleep because, guys, you know. I'm going to go to hell. I know I am. Actually, what a lot of people don't realize is we're already there, you know, if that's the way you choose to see this life on earth. But I digress. Okay, so God causes this deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and while the man is sleeping, God fashions Eve from his side, from his rib. So, you know, instead of her being a pain in his ass, she's a pain in his side. When Adam awakens, he recognizes Eve as part of himself and accepts her as his companion. That's not necessarily the way it was explained to me way back in the nunnery days, but not surprisingly, the ancient rabbis noticed that two contradictory versions of creation appeared in the book of Genesis, which is called the Bereshit in Hebrew. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting word. They solved the discrepancies in two ways. The first version of creation actually referred to Adam's first wife, first Eve. But Adam was displeased with her, so God replaced her with a second Eve that met Adam's needs. And so what was the problem with the first Eve? Well, obviously, she wanted to be on top every once in a while. She's really tired with it. You know, she got bored with the missionary position. She wanted to be on top. Adam didn't like that. Oh, and then I think there was a time or two she may have outsmarted him. Not necessarily like an intentional, I'm going to outsmart you kind of evil thing, but, you know, she actually figured something out faster than he did. Go figure. But Adam was displeased. Probably had a temper tantrum, and God said, okay, in order to shut you up, I'll give you another one. God, honey, let's have a little chit-chat here real quick, okay? Because, you know, I understand, is this where the whole concept of the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing come from? Because, you know, instead of just replacing Adam, who was obviously a whiner, obviously, because it was Eve's fault too, don't you know? Let's blame her. So not only is he a whiner, he's a finger pointer, but no, you had to keep him around and replace his spouse with someone else. Oh, but wait, there was also a priestly account that describes the creation as androgen, which is a creature that was both male and female. Hence, the new ruling in California where you have male, female, and I really just plain can't figure it out. I identify as both, but, you know, I really don't want to be just one or the other on legal documentation. So I'm going to throw a pissy fit until you make a none of the above option for me. It's pretty much what it boiled down to. I'm both. You can be whatever you want to be. I want to be both. Okay. Single cell critters are both. They don't need another one. They just split. And just splitting. This creature was then split into a man and a woman in the Yahwistic account. Although the tradition of two wives, two Eves, appears early on, this interpretation of creation's timeline was not associated with the character of Lilith until the medieval period, as we shall soon see why. Because, you know, Lilith, she's a troublemaker. She had brains and she wasn't afraid to use them. Scholars are not certain where the character of Lilith comes from, though many believe that she was inspired by Sumerian myths about female vampires called Lilu. Ah, so, like the succubus, you know, they would suck the life right out of you. Men folk, you can just fantasize all you want to about that, because I know that's where your minds went. Or they have the Mesopotamian myths about the succubi, the female night demons called Lilin. But Lilith is mentioned 4 times in the Babylonian Talmud. But it is not until the alphabet of Ben Sira, really? Circa 800s to 900s, that the character of Lilith is associated with the first version of creation. Wow, okay. In this medieval text, Ben Sira names Lilith as Adam's first wife and presents a full account of her story. Thank you! According to the alphabet of Ben Sira, I didn't know that the alphabet really was a story. Cool. Lilith apparently was Adam's first wife, but the couple fought all the time, which is really not that unusual. They apparently didn't see eye to eye on matters of sex because Adam always wanted to be on top, while Lilith also wanted a turn in the dominant sex position. Well, why not, guys? You kick back, max, relax, let her diddy up dough. When they could not agree, Lilith decided to leave Adam. Okay, we're just not compatible. We've grown apart, God. What can I say? This is the first divorce. She uttered God's name and flew into the air. Wow! How cool! Leaving Adam alone in the Garden of Eden. God sent 3 angels after her and commanded them to bring her back to her husband by force if she would not come willingly. Oh, here we go. Here's this whole dominant bullshit thing. This is the kind of stuff that makes me go, yeah, this was written by a man. And I am not a feminist by any stretch of the imagination. Trust me. If I can do something, I will say, hey, I can do that. If someone is willing to help me, especially someone of the male persuasion, I am ever so grateful, ever so thankful. Guys, you want to hold a door open for me? Truly appreciate it. I really do. Just don't be affronted if I happen to hold the door open for you as well. Just saying. Apparently, when the angels found her by the Red Sea, they were unable to convince her to return and could not force her to obey them. Eventually, a strange deal was struck, wherein Lilith promised not to harm newborn children if they are protected by an amulet with the names of the 3 angels written on it. Really? So all of a sudden, Lilith is this evil creature that she's going to go around and destroying babies because, I'm going to, oh wow. Is that the beginning of Planned Parenthood? Apparently the 3 angels caught up with her at the Red Sea. They seized her and told her, if you agree to come with us, come. And if not, we shall drown you in the sea. Oh, well, wow, what an option. Damn, wonder if that's how they came up with the whole drowning the witches, and if she does not drown, then she must be a witch. And if she does drown, then we saved her soul. And no, she's not a witch, but we saved her soul. Thanks for nothing. She answered, darlings, I know myself that God created me only to afflict babies with fatal disease when they are 8 days old. Oh, really? That's just cold. I shall have permission to harm them from their birth to the 8th day and no longer, when it is a male baby. But when it is a female baby, I shall have permission for 12 days. The angels? Wow, that sounds like a hell of a shitty deal there, Lilith. Is that why it was the Red Sea? Because it was that time of the month, possibly? PMS sometimes stands for permissible manslaughter. The angels apparently would not leave her alone until she swore by God's name that wherever she would see them or their names in an amulet, she would not possess the baby, bearing it, and they then left her immediately. Now, this is the story of Lilith who afflicts babies with disease. This is according to the alphabet of Ben Sira from Adam and Eve, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim readings on Genesis and gender. See, they even have gender in the Bible. Apparently, It appears to combine legends of female demons with the idea of the first Eve. Why? Because, well, she hurt Adam's feelings. He had such a fragile ego. Because two heads are better than one. And we all know that men supposedly have two, but usually they do most of their thinking with the smaller one. The one that's below the waist. But we cannot damage that fragile male ego. That's the way I interpret this. Am I being a hateful shit? Possibly. What results is the story about Lilith, an assertive wife who rebelled against God and her husband, and was replaced by another woman who was much more docile, and yet rather inquisitive, hence eating from the forbidden tree, the fruit of the forbidden tree. Oh, and then Lilith was demonized in Jewish folklore as a dangerous killer of babies. Lilith. See what happens when you tell Adam, excuse me, it's my turn on top. He don't like that. Apparently, later legends also characterized her as a beautiful woman who seduces men or copulates with them in their sleep. Then spawns demon children. According to some accounts, Lilith is the queen of demons. Now, I don't know about y'all, but there have been some children that I've been around, especially in that 2 to 3 year old range, that can be quite demonic little trolleys from time to time, especially if mommy and daddy don't ever show them what the meaning of no is, and you cannot have that. They already know the concept of mine, as in they think everything is theirs, but getting told no, that is mine, as in you may not have that because you will break it. This is why we can't have nice things. It's Lilith's fault. Lilith did it. Lilith is just so... What's the topic tonight? Succubuses, sock puppet. You ever met one? What if there's a pole shift? I don't know. Oh, man. Okay, let me come. I gotta catch up here. What are you guys talking about? You're too busy counting Irma bennies. Oh. Okay. So Sock Puppet had gone fishing. Honey, I don't want to know what kind of bait you was using. Okay, catching up with the chat. Hurricane, recent event. Yes, I know, Sock. You've probably been extremely busy with a lot of that stuff. What horse farm? Did you make a horsey cry or did you make it laugh? Ooh. Horse. Ooh, I don't want to know. A horse tickler? Okay. Okay. Oh, that's just really, really gross, Sock Puppet. I don't want to know about... Hugh Hefner was just kind of a pervy old fart anyway. I mean, but at least he was out in the open about being a pervy old fart. But I really don't care about this whole transgender playmate. What the hell is the deal? People. Do you wish to be... Hi, TD Sanders. I finally see you over here on the effing site. How are you doing, lady? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing evening. This is wonderful reading. Or maybe not. I thought it was. Okay, so now that I have talked about Lilith again, because I that really just does fascinate me. It's like, why in the hell was she considered such a badass if all she did was try to assert herself with Adam? Is Adam have that fragile of an ego? Adam, what is the deal here, you wussy woo? Okay, this is, speaking of weirdness, and okay, I know this is a really bad segue, but the lovely Circles tagged me on this in the RLM chat earlier, sent it as a message, however you wish to put that. It is from thesun.co.uk. Apparently, it's a swine. There was a pair of wild boars that went on a rampage in Germany, injuring 4 people in a bank and ripping a man's finger off and smashing up cars. One wonders which finger. Was he flying the bird at him and it went, fuck you who? F-bomb. First one. I don't want to hear about that. So, police confirmed on Facebook that 2 grown, aggressive wild pigs have been running through the city center of Hyde. I know I probably pronounced that wrong, and Circles is probably going to laugh at me later, but that's okay. I gave her something to laugh about. 4 people have reportedly been left injured in Germany after the boars went on a rampage. That's before one of them was shot dead. So, apparently someone was going to have wild bacon later. Let's see. The other one is still on the run. Where's the rest? There it is. Okay, the Post adds, according to the current findings, the animals on their way through the streets and in the branch of the savings bank at the market have already attacked and injured several people. Currently, measures are being taken, including police and hunters, to put the wild pig out of action. Until then, the population is urgently asked to avoid the inner city center, not to leave buildings, and above all, not to hinder the work of the deployment forces. Ta 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 ta! Apparently, an eyewitness told NDR that she saw a woman lying on the ground and screaming, with another saying that they were completely bewildered and that the boars had come out of nowhere. Because they're wild, they're on a rampage. Maybe it was some kind of college initiation thing for boars. I don't know. The news site has also reported that a man's finger had been ripped off. Honey, if you don't stick your finger in their mouth, they ain't going to rip it off. It is believed that 4 people have been injured and several cars have been damaged. So, I just think it's rather odd that police are shooting and killing wild pigs. I'm just going to leave that at that. How's that sound? So, now, hi, Sock. Ooh. Sweetie, that's not what that is. That's a Viagra-induced kickstand to keep him from rolling out of bed. Oh, goodness. Okay. Thank you once again, Circles, for that silliness. Yeah. Piggy's on the loose. Here, piggy, 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 piggy. See, this little piggy went to market. And then it went into a bank. And it ran wee, wee, wee. Okay. Where, which? Oh, no, I'm not talking about Lilith. I'm talking about, here, we'll do this little emoji to share that over there. Yes. Oh, I got to tell you, this morning I was feeling a little bit on the obnoxious side and silly side. And so, I was seeing all of this serious stuff over on Fakey Book, and I thought, y'all need to just lighten up a little bit. It's Friday. It's Friday for Friday's sake. And so I just kind of posted, I feel a change is due. Whatever shall I do? Depends. And, you know, the first person to really catch on to what I was saying was DeVille, who is an old acquaintance. Well, she's not old, but she's an acquaintance from the World Truth Days. And she said, well, if your depends need changing, I'll support your decision. It's like, yay! And she got it. I mean, you know, it was within like 5 minutes of me posting that. She got it. So it's like, booyah, good job, DeVille. You the woman. That's all there is to it. So, yeah. But, okay, what was this? Oh, yeah. And I saw this over on Minds earlier today from Brain Static. You know, you remember earlier last year when the Large Hadron Collider, spit it out, overloaded and broke down, and people were like, phew, good thing nothing weird happened, like a shift in reality. You know, maybe, just maybe, it's time to revisit that. You think? I'm thinking maybe it is time to revisit that, because, yeah, I think something shifted, and it wasn't, you know, like a baseball player. Have you ever noticed baseball players are always shifting? Moving along, I'm going to go back to my pocket, and I'm going to check out, you know, I really don't know if I want to give the Vegas thing any more credence or not, or any more airtime. It's like, I had a customer in that was waiting for the parts guy to come back from lunch today, and he asked me what I thought about Vegas, and I said, I don't doubt that there was somebody killed out there. I really don't doubt that. I'm sure there were some sacrifices that went on, you know, for the cause. It's usually the way it works. But it sure as hell didn't go down the way they said it went down. And there have been acoustical analysis, which I could not come up with that phrase earlier today, and it just popped into my head right now, that prove that definitely more than one weapon was used. And definitely from two different positions. Just by going by the acoustical analysis and, you know, oh, cripes. He was using trigonometry and all of this other, and sound, timing of sounds and all that other fun shit. And it's like, wow. Mike, the health ranger, Mike Adams is the one that did it. And he explained it quite well. And then he played the, you know, so that you could hear, and so you could play along, basically. And I went, wow. So, you know, I've always thought that there was way more than one person, because it just plain didn't sound, you know, like just one, and it didn't sound like it was coming from. Oh, NRA right at the seat of every gun law. You know, I'm kind of sort of like Flasher on this one. Every time we have one of these things, I almost wonder if maybe the gun lobby isn't involved with this as well, because every time something like this happens, then all of a sudden you have all of this knee-jerk, feel-good legislation that starts getting bantered around, and everybody's saying, oh, we need to have tougher gun laws. And then everybody else has a knee-jerk reaction of, oh my God, they're going to take away our guns. So they go out and they buy all these guns and they buy all this ammo. And the gun manufacturers and the ammo manufacturers are all sitting back going, this is good. This is good. You know, and I just think, I think they're all in on it. I think every damn one of them. And I think what we need to do is just ignore, well, you can only ignore to a certain point, you know? If it starts directly affecting you, or someone that you know, then you need to kind of step it up. It's kind of like when if you see someone smack a kid, it's like you step up and you go, "Excuse me, what the hell's going on here?" And if nothing else, step between the child and whomever is smacking them. Or, if you see something else going on that is just not cool, you step up, call them out. That's how good people, people that actually have some moral fiber and have some respect for themselves, because I tell you what, I would lose all respect for myself if I saw something bad happening and I didn't step up and try and stop it. And I have been known to do that. It's not necessarily if you have the money to lobby, then you're dirty sock. Because there are people out there that have money that don't go out and do that. I'm sure there's got to be some out there that have the money to lobby that don't go out and lobby and try and cajole things and all that other fun shit. They just want to do their thing and not bother anybody, and every once in a while help out when they see a need. But I actually do know a couple people like that have money, and they're not afraid to go out there and help people when they're in need. But lobbyists I have no use for. Those that go out there and promise all of these wonderful things to those in Congress. Now, seeing as how I've been bitchy anyway, over here on humansarefree.com, I just kind of saved the whole website in my pocket because I'd seen several articles on there that I thought, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So I just put the home page in my pocket. And as I was scrolling whilst I was looking at other things, because I do have a tendency to do that, I saw this. Big Pharma's Big Connections. Congress exposed as protecting drug makers while opioid problem worsens. Yeah? Is this a shocker for anyone? I don't think so. I really do think that, I don't believe that everybody that runs for Congress is necessarily a bad person, but everybody that runs again, those are the ones that I start questioning. Because I think you could probably figure out within the first 6 months if what you went there intending to do, like if you were going there and you were wanting to clean up the mess and you were wanting to cut back on the nonsensical spending, and you were wanting to cut back on government control of everybody, then I think you would find out at the latest in the first 6 months that, yeah, that ain't gonna work. This is just entirely too entrenched. This nasty monster has got its tentacles and its spider's web pretty much everywhere, which basically means that we got to find a couple of loose threads in that web and either cut them or give them a hell of a jerk and watch the whole thing unravel. Because I don't think there's any fixing it. It's just too far gone. There is no fixing what we've got. And those that keep wanting to stay in there are part of the problem as far as I'm concerned. But, excuse me, to get back to this article. Many people often picture drug dealers as these scary individuals selling pills on street corners. But when it comes to the opioid epidemic, these drug pushers don't exactly fit the stereotype. No, they have little tablets, and they usually have a stethoscope around their neck, and sometimes they put thermometers in places where you don't want them to put them. And they also come along with these little vials with a sharp thing on the end of them that they try to poke into you because they're pricks. which, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, spent the weekend with my mother and at my class reunion. And she and I were jibber-jabbering Friday evening, and she was telling me that she had gone to the doctor earlier in the week and that they were trying to get her to take some new prescription pills and do this and do that. And I said, Mom, you don't need any of that shit. And then she said, well, they told her to continue taking Tums. And I said, why are you taking Tums? Well, it's supposed to help me build bones. And I said, Mom, no, you don't need that shit. You just need to eat, like get your yogurt, get your vitamin D3, which basically spend some time out in the sun, which she does a lot of that. And she and I were chit-chatting about this. And she said, and I most definitely told them, no, I am not going to have a flu shot this year. And I looked at her and I said, this year? Because to me that implied that she'd already had one. And she looked at me and she said, last year when she went in for her physical, the doctor walked in, had the syringe in her hand, walked up to Mom, gave her a shot in the arm. Mom said, what the heck was that? And she said, now you've had your flu shot. I was fucking livid. I looked at my mother and I said, you have got to be shitting me. And she said, no. I said, did you punch her? And she said, no. And I said, I would have. I'd have decked her ass. And then I sued her ass. That is bullshit. What the hell? Then I asked her, have you changed your doctor? Well, no, I'm going to the same clinic. So Mother and I had a nice long discussion about that. But that frickin' doctors are just the pushers for the drug companies. And the ones, they allow this shit. And why? Because they believe the inserts, the little short little blurb like the TV commercial. They don't pay attention to the really fast talking in the last 15 seconds of the commercial. Just like they don't pay attention to the fine print at the bottom of those little brochures that they hand out. They just swallow the BS that the drug company rep tells them. Oh, but it's so good. And you know what? If you get so many people to take these samples and then prescribe so many prescriptions for this, well, then we will do this for you. Is that not bribery? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's bribery. Oh, well. This lovely article, now that I've gotten that out of my system, kind of, sort of, maybe. The true drug dealers largely responsible for America's opioid epidemic aren't thugs. Yes, they are. They're doctors and members of the U.S. Gooberment, as in Guberment. Gubernare. Thank you, Mark Passio. As former DEA agent Joe... Okay, Joe, because wow, that last name's got entirely too many consonants altogether. But as Joe put it, they weren't slinging crack on the corner. These were professionals who were doing it, and they were just drug dealers in lab coats. You have physicians heavily pushing and marketing opioids. You've got countless doctors being paid by Big Pharma to prescribe opioids. And then you have the U.S. government overseeing the opioid trade. Why do you think we're still in Afghanistan? That's just one of many reasons. This isn't news to many people, as the reality of America's war on drugs has lain exposed for decades. But mainstream media, the corporate lame-ass propaganda system, has been honing in on the deep ties the people were expected to share with Big Pharma. Yeah, corporate lame-ass propaganda system is honing in on it. Yeah, they're probably trying to fill in the cracks, is what they're trying to do. An in-depth investigation into the opioid epidemic and the U.S. government's ties to it was recently conducted by the Washington Post and 60 Minutes. Why? Because they know people are starting to call bullshit on them. So they're thinking, okay, let's put some really good news, some stuff that's actually, true. Oh, sure, we'll slant it in a way that it doesn't sound all that bad and it doesn't splatter shit back on us, but hey, we'll cover the real story. Note there was no S on the end of that. There was no pluralization whatsoever. Apparently, these were revealing how U.S. Congress effectively weakened the Drug Enforcement Administration's ability to go after drug distributors, despite the worsening opioid epidemic. Oh, like you think the DEA is not in on it. See, that's the catch. That's the catch. They tell you there is an opioid epidemic. They point fingers at Congress, saying that it's their fault, that things are not better, and then they're telling you, but the system is already in place to correct this. It's just that those bad people over there, they're not letting them fix it. No. Because those bad people over there, those Congress people, they have an awful lot of big pharma bucks to play with. That's number one. Number two, DEA ain't going to do shit about it because DEA is benefiting from it as well. It's called job security. Apparently, the bill that protected drug companies and fueled the opioid epidemic, what is this? You have that in really big, bright blue letters. The Washington Post reported on the opioid epidemic, focused on one bill in particular that protected some major drug companies, allowing the flow of opioids to reach more people and creating more profit for their producers in turn. Yeah, well, it's not just the opioids. That's just, see, once again, you're just focusing on a very, very small part of this. The law was presented as a more industry-friendly approach to law enforcement, but it undermined the DEA's ability to monitor the flow of opioids. That's because they don't want it monitored. And let's focus on opioids and not look at the HPV vaccines that are killing or physically mutilating, maiming young girls, and now they're suggesting young boys have it as well. Isn't that just special? What happened? Did you make a whole hell of a lot and people said, fuck you, I don't want it? And so now you're overstocked and you gotta move what you've got because the whole supply and demand thing just ain't working for you the way you thought it would. And so here, we gotta force people because it's such a good idea. We gotta make you do it at gunpoint. Corrupt doctors and pharmacists were able to effectively prescribe more painkillers and introduce them into the black market. Yeah, let's point that finger at those corrupt doctors and pharmacists. Don't point a finger at those big pharmaceutical companies that are producing this shit to start with, along with all kinds of other lovely stuff. Big Pharma funded this through lobbying efforts. Well, naturally, because don't cut into their cash flow. That's why they don't want marijuana legalized, decriminalized, removed from the Schedule 1 status. Just left the hell alone because it's a plant, for God's sake. Yeah, can't have that out there, where people will just use it willy-nilly because, damn, people will be healthy. And where's our repeat customers if everybody's healthy? Shit. Apparently, they worked closely with a handful of congressmen and even made some hefty donations to political campaigns. Shock! Egad and gadzooks! I am just appalled. Oh, to the tune of millions of dollars. No, 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 no. Millions of dollars is like a spit in the ocean to these people. This was to ensure that the bill came to fruition. Washington Post stated that the key member of Congress who paved the way for this bill was Pennsylvania Republican Tom Marino. Yeah, let's point the fingers at the Republicans. You know, the ones that there's more Republicans in Congress, and we got a Republican in the White House. So let's point fingers at them, because those demon crappies, no, they would never do that. Yeah, he's apparently allegedly spent years attempting to push this bill. I've seen lots of other bills that they've spent years attempting to push, and the damn things never even made it to committee. Yeah. Apparently the law Marino so desperately wanted to succeed basically acts as a protective barrier between Big Pharma and the DEA. Why not? You've already got a protective barrier between Big Pharma and the GP, aka general public. You know, the little peons, the little worker bees that you have out here. You slaves. Because you've already protected them against that. Now, if you have someone that has a vaccine injury, if they jump through all those flaming hoops, takes years to make it through all those flaming hoops, and they have to survive the years of going through all those flaming hoops, because if they happen to die, then you got to start all over again, because that's different paperwork to fill out. And then it all gets submitted to a government agency that decides how much your trauma, the damage, or death is worth. But there's a cap on it, don't you know? Because, well, you know, they decide what your life is worth or what your child's life is worth, and it can't be worth more than this. Just can't. I mean, if you put it to where they could get millions of dollars, why, everybody would be doing it. No. How about you stop forcing people to get inoculations in the first place? Wait, no, everybody would be doing that then. They would not be getting inoculations. Never mind, silly me. So why was Marino so supportive of this particular bill? Well, we clearly do not have the full picture, but we do know that he received $100,000 by political action committees representing the industry for his efforts. $100,000. That's probably not even a tenth of a cent to Big Pharma. I don't know, because I haven't seen the actual numbers, but that's the most I think it would be. Marino wasn't the only lawmaker to accept payments, though, as the industry paid a collective $1.5 million to 23 lawmakers who sponsored or co-sponsored the bill. Yeah. Basically, they kind of walked through Congress and dumped change out of their pocket, because that's about how much that equates out to. When you look at how much profit Big Pharma rakes in, and how little those lawmakers go for, wow, they're a cheap payoff to certain people. Yeah, it's like they just walked down the halls of Congress and just kind of emptied their pockets. You know, all that loose change fell, and here's all these congressional people scrambling for, ooh, I got a dime, I got a quarter, look at me, I got a 50-cent piece. I know you don't see those very often, but The drug industry, the manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, and chain drugstores have an influence over Congress that has never been seen before. Why is that? Because they're all hooked on something. This was explained by the former head of the DEA's division responsible for regulating the drug industry. Thanks, Joe. Good job there. Yeah, you did good. I mean, to get Congress to pass a bill to protect their interests in the height of the opioid epidemic just shows me how much influence they have. How many of those Congress people are taking opioids right now? That's a question the inquiring minds would like to know. So, as per how this bill truly got passed remains a mystery. Yes, Big Pharma and Congressman Marino clearly played a huge role, but how did the DEA and Department of Justice accept this? Were they unaware of the effects this would have on the opioid epidemic? They probably really couldn't give two shits less. Former POTUS Dangleberry, who was responsible for the final sign-off on the bill in 2016, and multiple DEA officials declined to comment on the matter to the Post because, well, along with the pittance that these people were paid, they had a little hush clause in there, I'm sure. In addition, the DEA and the Justice Department refused or delayed requests made by the Post and 60 Minutes for further or for files under the Freedom of Information Act that could provide more information on the law that passed. Well, you don't have a right to that information. Those aren't rights. Those are privileges. And, well, you were naughty, naughty, naughty. So you're grounded. You just lost those privileges for, we'll let you know when you can have them back. Thanks, Nanny State, for taking care of us. I'm bored with this. Because it's really nothing new. I mean, it's just more of the same old, same old. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to douche this whole system? Because it really needs to be douched. Someone needs to flush it. Is that Chloe's? Chloe's! I see Chloe's. I'm clicking on the links over here in the RLM. Okay. Which one is this? Oh. Somebody got an award, and they're just ever so proud of it. And what is that one? Oh. Okay. Frumpy, you're having fun sharing all kinds of little giffies, aren't you? Let's see. What is that sock? I gotta see the one that Sock shared. Oh! A pile of leaves. That would be so fun to go play in, but then I would have to rake them all back up again. Because, yeah, I'm the one that does the raking. And my dogs are the ones that do the running through. And saying, what, Mom? What? Aw, man. No giffies for Grams. Darn it all. It's okay, Grim. I think it would probably scare people. Actually, one of my coworkers today, I don't know if he's just not been paying attention or what. But Lisa B and I, we like to play, my hair is like a coloring book. I mean, if I'm going to color my hair, I want it to be obvious. Oh, look, she colors her hair, and they're wild colors. That pretty, Lisa B. In any case, he come up to me earlier today, and he said, what'd you do to your hair? And I kind of went, what do you mean? And he said, it looks like you've got a science experiment growing in the back. Because, yeah, I have the purple and teal thing going on. And I said, well, hon, it's been this way for months. Yeah, but I just noticed it. This is a mechanic working on your vehicle. Oh, he notices things on vehicles. He just doesn't notice women's hair, apparently. That's okay. Oh, too funny, though. Too funny. Okay, here is another one. I don't remember who shared it earlier today, but the one that was shared was from a Dallas newspaper or something like that, and it kept telling me, I would get to read like the first 2 lines of it, and then it would do this pop-up thing saying, you can't read any further until you subscribe to the newspaper. And so I pretty much did a fuck you, and I closed it, and I did a DuckDuckGo search, and I found other places to read the article. Nanny boo-boo. So this is from the ACLU.org. Texas City tells people no Hurricane Harvey aid unless they promise, cross your heart, hope to die, stick a needle in your eye, not to boycott Israel. How many people had their fingers and toes crossed when they signed that shit? In the city of Dickinson, Texas, you little Dickens, you dicks. No, I don't want to call them that. That's better part of male anatomy. In any case, pricks. We'll call them pricks. Hey, you little prickies. Prickinson. It's requiring applicants for Hurricane Harvey rebuilding funds to certify in writing that they will not take part in a boycott of Israel. Number one, I want to know who in the hell started that bullshit in the first place. But wait, there's more. Just read the article, Grams. Shut up. The American Civil Liberties Union. How do I do that? Read the article and shut up. How do I do that same? Never mind. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, criticized the city's condition as a violation of free speech rights. The First Amendment protects Americans' right to boycott, and the government cannot condition hurricane relief or any other public benefit on a commitment to refrain from protected political expression. This was from the ACLU of Texas legal director Andre Segura. Dickinson's requirement is an egregious violation of the First Amendment, reminiscent of McCarthy-era loyalty oaths requiring Americans to disavow membership in the Communist Party and other forms of subversive activity. The city website says that it is accepting applications from individuals and businesses for grants from money donated for hurricane relief. Now, this is donated money. This is not the city's own money. It is donated money. Remember that. Being dickweed heads. But the application says that by signing it, the applicant verifies that the applicant does not boycott Israel, and number 2, will not boycott Israel during the term of this agreement. And how long is the term, honey? Does it have to be signed in blood? The city appears to be enforcing a recently passed Texas law that requires all state contractors to certify that they are not participating in boycotts of Israel. Kate, is that why you moved from the great state of Texas? Because it sucks ass right now, at least with that little bit of legislation? So while the ACLU does not take a position on boycotts of foreign countries, the organization has long supported the right to participate in political boycotts and has voiced opposition to laws and bills that infringe on the right to boycott. How about girlcott? I think boycott is a sexist term. How about girlcott? How about I can't decide my gender cott? That way, nobody is feeling they were sexist. The Supreme Court ruled decades ago that political boycotts, or I can't decide my gender cots, are protected by the First Amendment. and other decisions have established that the government may not require individuals to sign a certification regarding their political expression in order to obtain employment, contracts, or other benefits. They may not. This is a Gandalf kind of thing. You shall not pass. It's kind of like, what was it I listened to the other day? Gosh darn it. He talks really, 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 really fast. But you're not supposed to interpret law based on current mores or current events or current social norms or whatever. Laws are supposed to be applied based on when they were written and how the intent was when they were written. You know, like the Constitution. Shit. I mean, if you want to go along with constitutional stuff, pay attention here, peeps. The Second Amendment is basically so that you can be an armed militia, and it is supposed to, at least from what we were, told back in the old days, that if the government had certain weaponry, then you were supposed to be able to have something that would be able to battle such weaponry in case the government became tyrannical. In case. Yeah. So that you could oust it and do a new form of government. Which I think a new form of government would be wonderful if everybody governed themselves. And I like Flasher's rule, don't lie. Would make things rather uncomfortable, would probably even make some conversations an awful lot shorter. But don't lie, that's number one. Beth Z had an excellent suggestion. Honor your contracts, written and verbal. Honor all contracts. My thing is, don't do unto others what you don't want done unto you. And, basically don't steal. Which I know Carlin and I disagree kind of sort of verbiage-wise on this one. I think don't steal is the main one, simply because you take someone's life, you take someone's property, you take someone's good name / reputation, you take these things, you take someone's liberty, you take someone's security. Those are all forms of theft. So, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not do unto others what you do not want done unto you. Thou shalt honor all your contracts, both verbal and written. And thou shalt not tell a lie, because your nose will grow. And then it'll get stuck in elevator doors. And then where would you be? Noseless. You'd be like Opus. In any case, back to this article. Wow, off on a tangent. Squirrel. So, back to this. The Supreme Court ruled decades ago that I just can't decide my gender cots are protected by the First Amendment, and other decisions have established that the government may not require individuals, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I already read that. On October the 11th, the ACLU filed a federal lawsuit challenging here we go, my home state standing up, being proud, and in their stupidity, challenging a Kansas law on behalf of a high school math teacher who is being required by the state, single finger salute to you, to certify that she won't boycott Israel if she wants to take part in a teacher training program. Another single finger salute, and just in case you didn't hear the first one, great state of Kansas ass. In July, the ACLU sent a letter to members of Congress opposing a bill that would make it a felony to support certain, I just can't decide what gender cots, of companies doing business with Israel and its settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories. As a result, Senate sponsors of the bill are considering changes. Well, you know how that shit works. First they have to consider, then it has to go to committee, then they have to investigate. So you know it's going to be about 5 years down the road before anything happens on any of this shit. But still, don't be telling me that would be like telling me you can't boycott Fruit Loops. Doesn't make shit and bit of difference that I don't like Fruit Loops. They're entirely too sweet, and the texture is just. Now I say that, and then I also have to admit I do like Captain Crunch, although it makes the roof of my mouth sore. But it's the same thing basically. They're telling them, you can't do this because we said so. And if you want to be able to get these monies that has been donated and we're just kind of helping pass out, but if you want to have these monies, you can't do this. Really? You have to purchase. Oh, wait a minute. The Guberman has already said you have to purchase insurance. And if you don't purchase it, we're going to fine you. But we're going to call it a tax, but really it's a fine. Oh, somebody find that loose strand and pull it. I've been looking. I've been pulling on strands myself, and I just haven't found a loose one that just really kind of starts unraveling shit. I'm trying to find one. So, ACLU finally doing something I agree with. Now, see, I don't necessarily like the ACLU, but they do serve a purpose. Okay, best finger of all time, what's that? I gotta see this. Dick inside. Oh, that's just sick and wrong. They go, Johnny Cash. That's a good one. That's a good one, Frumpy. What's this one, Grim? That's a good one, too. Although it's still a good one. But Moosey flips off like my oldest daughter does. All the fingers go way down, flat. And all you got is just that one, the bird finger sticking up. And that looks I can't do that. It hurts. So, okay, do you have some more funny ones? More fun ones? Liberals love to... Oh, yeah, I remember seeing something about that. Rob Works. They love Trumple's tax plan so long as you tell them it's Bernie Sanders. Yeah. See, people are so gullible. If you make it sound like it's their idea, they're all for it. People are just weird. I say that because I'm weird. I mean, I know this. I look in the mirror and I see weirdness. I rather enjoy my weirdness, which is why I continue it, but hey. Okay, let's get ACLU shared here. I think they need to drop kick these doofuses. And the sad thing is, the really sad thing about all of this is that the people in that community are going to be the ones that pay. Which that's always the way it works, It's always the people that wind up paying. What you got to say, KD? I see you commented on one of the links I shared over here on Effen's site. Oh, he commented on the German wild boars, and he said, when in Germany, make sausage or bacon. Bacon's good. I like bacon. He said this only happened because population is unarmed. A land of... Yes. Yes. Criminals will think different about committing crimes if they are unsure how many people are actually armed. I mean, it's not a total deterrent, but it is a deterrent for some. if they know or are even somewhat concerned that this individual could be armed to the teeth, they will think about what they're doing. So I don't know that I think everybody should have a gun. I mean, if you don't want to have a gun, that's fine. Just put up a little sign that says, I don't like guns. I don't have them. That way all of the burglars will go to your house. You get what you ask for, whether you realize it or not. And a lot of times it's simply because you weren't specific with your wishes. So, okay. Dun, dun, dun. I'm looking at my recommendations in my pocket. How a quarter of cow DNA came from reptile. What? I don't know that I want to go there. That would make me feel really bad about moo cows. Oh, hey, here you go. New York Times. Let's have fun with this one, shall we? The New York Times, what cookies and meth have in common. This is from June of this year, by the way. As a psychiatrist, I have yet to meet a patient who enjoys being addicted to drugs or compulsively overeating. Sugar is considered one of the most addictive drugs out there by some people. So why would anyone continue to use recreational drugs despite the medical consequences and social condemnation? What's that, Frumpy? The stats are opposite way. Oh, see, that's what I mean, Frumpy. Way less murders in countries that have no control. Yes. Yes. And yes, Moose Girl flips off with feeling too, Grimmy. She's a very flippy kind of girl. I like that about her. Okay, so back to this. Recreational drug use. That's a wonderful way of putting it. Unfortunately, there's an awful lot of people that are addicted to things that their doctor wrote a prescription for, and it's not really considered recreational. They were told, you have to take these or you will die, and then you get addicted to them and then you die. It's like, wait a minute. Somewhere along the way, something went really hinky. Apparently, one answer for this whole addiction thing is that modern humans have designed the perfect environment to create both of these addictions, the overeater and the abuse of recreational drugs. No one will be shocked to learn that stress makes people more likely to search for solace in drugs or food. It's called comfort food. And although I will admit that I have had my moments of binge eating with comfort food, usually if I'm stressed or cranky, I go work in the yard. Because I got to do something physical. And if I work in the yard or pull weeds or rototill the garden or something, paint something or break something or build something, whatever, burn off that excess energy. That's usually what's best for me. But that's just me. Yet the myth has persisted that addiction is either a moral failure or a hardwired behavior. The addicts are either completely in command or literally out of their minds. So now we have a body of research that makes the connection between stress and addiction definitive. More surprising, it shows that we can change the path to addiction by changing our environment. Aha! Neuroscientists have found that food and recreational drugs have a common target in the reward circuit of the brain. And that the brains of humans and other animals who are stressed undergo biological changes that can make them more susceptible to addiction. If you consider the opioid epidemic, once again, we're on the opioids. Last month, this newspaper estimated that more than 59,000 Americans had died of drug overdoses in 2016, which represents the largest year-over-year increase ever recorded. The Princeton economist Annie Case and Angus Deaton reported in a 2015 study that middle-class whites in particular have experienced an alarming increase in midlife mortality since the 1990s, driven largely by deaths of despair, involving suicide, alcohol, and drugs. Wonder how many of those pissed off Hillary. Moving along, these addicts did not suddenly lose their moral fiber. Instead, they faced poor job prospects, a steady erosion in the social status, and consequently mounting stress. Now, social status I could give two shits about. Poor job prospects, that's basically you can't find a job, any job, something to put food on the table. I am not above going and making beds at a motel in order to put food on the table. If it needs to be done, and that's the only option I've got for some kind of income, that's what I will do. In a 2010 study, Diana Martinez and colleagues at Columbia scanned the brain of a group of healthy controls and found that lower social status and a lower degree of perceived social support, both presumed to be proxies for stress, were correlated with fewer dopamine receptors, called D2s, in the brain's reward circuit. All rewards, sex, food, money, drugs, cause a release of dopamine, which conveys a sense of pleasure and tells the brain something like, "This is an important experience. Don't forget it." The reward circuit evolved to help us survive by driving us to locate food or sex in our environment. So is that why Adam had all of that time with naming all of the creatures of the land and sea and air? Moving along. Today, the more D2 receptors you have, the higher your natural level of stimulation and pleasure, and the less likely you are to seek out recreational drugs or comfort food to compensate. See, once again, I go work out in the yard, and then when I'm done working in the yard, I can look at what I've done, and it's like, look at what I accomplished. I did good. I did good. Okay. Okay, this just goes on with more drug shit and more shit. So, didn't really tell me what cookies and meth have in common other than some people do drugs, some people eat. Could have stopped at psychiatrist. That's pretty much. Yeah, Rob Works. Yeah, shrinks, the rapist, mind fuckers. There you go. That's pretty much what they are. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and share this over on the effing site, just in case somebody wishes to finish reading the article. I'm pretty well bored with it, so I know, see how I roll. I get bored with an article and I just move along. And I know just the right ones to use, because Grammy's got some little emoticons of guys that are shoving stuff in their face. And then also, there we go. There's that one, and there's that one, and then there's a little nurse. Where's the nurse? There she is. So, I'm going to go check out the pig real quick, because I want to know what happened this date in history, and I'm getting close to the end of time. Well, not the end of time as we know it, but the end of my time tonight. Okay, the word of the day. Once again, it is another word. It is a word and not a phrase. Yay, guys! I'm so proud of you. The word of the day is socialite. It's a popular journalistic euphemism which, when applied to a 20 or 30-something female, denotes a bimbo who is rich by an accident of birth or by reason of a far from accidental marriage to a fat cat. That's very accurate description, actually. In the quotable quotes section, that's what the president tried to say to 4 families the other day. I was stunned when I came to work yesterday morning and broken-hearted at what I saw a member of Congress doing. A member of Congress who listened in on a phone call from the POTUS to a young girl, young wife, and in his way tried to express that opinion. That he's a brave man, a fallen hero. He knew what he was getting himself into because he enlisted. There's no reason to enlist. He enlisted. And he was where he wanted to be. Exactly where he wanted to be. With exactly the people he wanted to be with when his life was taken. That was the message. That was the message that was transmitted. This was from John Kelly, White House Chief of Staff, which, some people enlist and they don't really realize just exactly what they're signing up for, but be careful where you sign on the dotted line. Dear Microsoft, you have a problem, a very big problem, and you need to address it right fucking now. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, Microsoft does have a really big problem. They got their nose in entirely too many people's business. In other words, they're doing their impersonation of a midget in an elevator. Everywhere they turn, their nose is in someone's business. So, this date in history, the 20th of October, 1882. Legendary Hollywood actor Bela Count Dracula Lugosi, born in Hungary, spends the lion's share of his adult life taking healthy bites out of the Tinseltown thespians. I want to drink your blood, blah, blah. And this date in history, the 20th of October, 1944. After some liquid gas tanks in Cleveland exploded, killing 135 and leaving 3,600 homeless, King conducts comprehensive investigation and declares terrorism not involved. Alrighty. Okay, that's pretty much all they had for this date in history. Holy smokes, guys, you're slacking. Only 2? Only 2. Only 2. That sounds like something that Noah would say while they're getting on the ark. Rabbits? You on this side, you on this side. Only 2. Only 2. So, and Fakey Book is being very quiet. Very, very quiet. And so is... Sandra Talks Dirty? Who is Sandra? I don't know that I want to know. Okay. Back to my pocket I go. Liberal Zionism in the age of Trump. Nope. Kids, just say no? Really? ISIS is a revolution. Oh, there's a good one. Yeah, I don't want to go there. Oh, I'm really not seeing anything there that I want to go to. So, I think I'm going to go and check out UPI, UPI.com, simply because I haven't been there for a while. So, let's go check. Oh! A teen pulled over while wearing Shrek makeup. Huh, go figure. So Some guy from Australia felled a tree by punching the shit out of it. Wow. Oh, cool. Let's go check this one out. This one looks fun. This is from UPI.com. Apparently, a surprise birthday party leads to a $100,000 lottery win. Booyah! A Minnesota woman said that a surprise birthday party brought a second surprise when one of her gifts turned out to be a $100,000 winning lottery ticket. Dawn Meredith said 50 of her closest friends and family threw her a surprise party on September 30th for her 60th birthday. And among her gifts were a pair of Minnesota Viking scratch-off lottery tickets. Meredith later discovered that one of the tickets won the $100,000 top prize. Booyah! I couldn't believe what I was seeing, she said. I had to get another pair of glasses. Meredith collected her winnings Monday at the Minnesota Lottery headquarters. Way to go! She said the winning ticket was hands down the best birthday gift ever. Ever! I think I would be just absolutely, totally flabbergasted and befuddled if I were to get something so wonderful. And then I would probably give most of it away. Because I'm just kind of goofy like that. Because I really don't need that. Well, I can't say most of it away. Because I think Uncle Sugar would probably take half of it. And then the other half I would need for paying off this. And then, okay, I would be good though. Because then, yeah, hey, it would be good. It would all be good. So, oh, don't forget about the meth cookies. Yeah, meth cookies. Num, num, num. Nope. Dang, I am just about out of time. Oh, do. How about this one? A South Carolina woman's message in a bottle found 29 years later in Georgia. Huh. Cool. Miranda Chavez shared a photo of the letter that she placed in a glass bottle and cast off the shore of Edisto Beach in 1988 after a couple in Georgia discovered the 29-year-old message. The most amazing thing just happened. I received a message on Facebook from Linda Schaus Humphreys, who found a message in a bottle that I put in the ocean in Edisto Beach, September 26, 1988. I was 8 years old. How cool. She found it at the Sapelo, I'm sure I butchered how that's said, but Sapelo Island, Georgia, and is sending it to me. Cool. Chavez had long forgotten about the letter, which she assumed was swallowed in Hurricane Hugo less than a year after she sent it off. Much to her surprise, Linda Humphreys and her husband David found the letter just 90 miles down the coast after their home state of Georgia had been hit by Hurricane Irma. It really does confirm the whole 6 degrees of separation theory, Chavez said. I believe everything happens for a reason. Humphreys managed to track Chavez down despite the fact that the address wrote on the letter no longer exists. That was so long ago, Chavez said in her childhood home in an interview with CBS News, and it was pretty difficult to find me. She also added that in addition to being reminded of the 29-year-old letter, the experience also helped her reconnect with several of her former classmates. I lost contact with all of those people when I moved from that town, she said. And not only have I made a few new friends, like Linda and David, but I've also been able to reconnect with people. Booyah! That is cool. That is cool. I like that. See, happy news. Fun things, quirky things. Kids who climb on rocks. Let's see. Tough kids, sissy kids, even kids with chicken pox love hot dogs. Armor hot dogs. Okay, who else remembers that damn commercial? Oh, Lord. See, that just got popped into my head and now it's stuck. Okay. One more, just to let you know the end of the world is nigh. Or not. Tennessee police find kitten and raccoon cuddling in a dumpster. They were, police in Tennessee were met with an unexpected sight when they found a kitten and a raccoon huddling for warmth in a dumpster. Well, why not? Poor little fur babies. The Knoxville Police Department shared photos of the unlikely pair, which Animal Control Officer Nick Powell spotted while responding to a call of an animal stuck in a dumpster. When Officer Powell looked inside the dumpster, he located the two unusual companions, a kitten and a baby raccoon, cuddling in the corner, keeping each other warm. The kitten and the raccoon were found, you already said that, facing Both animals were ultimately rescued. The raccoon was relocated and released, and the kitten was taken to an animal shelter. Well, they'd made friends. What the hell? Maybe they bonded. How do you know? That's just cruel. I know someone that had a kitten and a raccoon for pet, and they got along just fine, and they both ate kitty food. What the hey? Oh, well. Oh, good job, Mary B. Yay, Mary B got the duck. Yay, B. Okay, you know what? Y'all been listening to Grammy's Rocket Chair here on this Freaker Friday here on RealLibertyMedia.com, Channel 3. Also on the RLM Spreaker channel, the RLM TuneIn radio station, the RLMradio.xyz site, and all kind of other later to be on the RLM YouTube channel too. Be sure to stick around because the Freakers Ball is on later on this evening with Grimner and Moose Girl. I will be back tomorrow with my cohort in crime, fellow dorkular guy, old Flasheroony Dork, to do the Dork Table tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, although I prefer to say tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Central Time because that's my time, and Central Time and Cosmic Time both start with the C, and so therefore my reasoning is that that's set with the cosmos. So you need to go by my time frame. I said so. Also, I don't know if Kira will be back with the bridge tomorrow afternoon, but I'll bet you JJ's is probably going to pop on to play some tunage for y'all because JJ's is just awesome like that. I also think Bo Diddy is probably still helping with reconstruction down there in the great state of Texas because that's the kind of guy he is and that's how he rolls. Or at least the last notification I got from him, he is still working away, helping people clean up and rebuild. Sunday at noon Eastern Time will be Grimner with some blues and hopefully a rip-snorting game of Trivial Pursuit going on in the RLM chat. And he's going to lead you into Hal Anthony, who's going to take yo ass behind the woodshed and open up a can of whoop ass on yo ass. Hal Anthony's always got some awesome brain food for everybody to partake of. Now, if you just digest it, people, let it work through you. Let it become one with you. Yes, heal yourself. And then Sunday evening, Gary L. and Gigi's Boo with The Road Less Traveled, all here on RLM. All kinds of way cool stuff going on. Now, let's see. Seeing as how I still got a few minutes left. How about let's go look. Oh, they're both on hiatus. Thank you very much, Grimmy. How about I check out Cracked really quick? See what's going on over there. Cracked 2. It's Cracked 2. Chefs prepare fancy fast food. Kanye West wants to... Oh, you guys really have not... No, there ain't much going on Cracked. They're just cracked. I'm not going to nag you, Frumpy. I would give you a hug. And if you piss me off, it may be around the neck. What? Okay. Lots and lots of what? Hey, did you know that you can buy Macho Man Randy Savage's used undies for $8,000 on eBay? Yes, but wait, there's more. Don't want to know about that. Okay. Not really a whole heck of a lot going on the Daily Haze that's catching my mind either. What's on your newswire? Let's check that one out. Oh, it's Trumples and Putin. No. Russia tells U.S. to remove nukes from Europe. I think they all need to get rid of their nukes. Period. Period. End of discussion. Oh, whoa. Let's see. Israel bombs Syrian army to protect Al-Qaeda allies. Way to go, Israel. Trumpelstiltskin ready to prosecute Shitlery over uranium one scandal. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead because there's lots of headlines here, but none of them are really grabbing my attention, so to speak. So, what's that? Balloons. Okay, you know what? It is time for me to get the hell out of here. Besides the fact that I have a kitty cat on my lap and I have rumblies in my tumbly. So, thanks y'all for listening this evening. I will catch up with you on the flip side because I am going to go and get me something to eat. And then I'm going to do my blog. And then I'm going to listen in for a while on the Freakers Ball. And then I'm going to head to bed because I'm old and decrepit. No, I'm just sleepy. That's which one of the 7 dwarfs I am. Oh, well. Y'all have an absolutely awesome evening. I will play